Hi there, this is Simon from Strategise Financial Modelling. Further to my article, Struggling with Your Company's Strategic Plan, I'm going to show you briefly how, from a model perspective, you can overcome these challenges. Per my article, it's really important to undertake some sort of roadmap and it's essentially a plan for the strategic plan. You also need to maintain some sort of version control and also update your model because, as you can see, just by looking at the table of contents for this example strategic model, it's a very detailed and time-consuming process. So you really want to have some sort of version control whereby if you do make some sort of errors in the model, say on a Monday morning after the weekend, you can roll back to the previous week's version or the previous morning's version or day's version to remedy that issue. And also, when you're dealing with different stakeholders, there has to be some sort of version control that ensures that everyone's using the same model. Just quickly showing you this model, one of the first things that I must specify or kind of clarify further is the importance of maintaining some sort of repository for the source financials. And as you can see here, I do that under the appendices where I source or deposit all my financial numbers in this area. So as you can see, as per my article, if we do have an update or recut of certain financial numbers, we can seamlessly update this model by merely just going into the data edit links. And so, for example, for the 2010 financial year, we'd be able to just update this, the financials to 2010, for example. And it's this way you can maintain some sort of more credible record of all emails and source data files as opposed to just randomly just inputting data across the whole financial model, because apart from our assumptions pages, which I've discussed in previous articles, it is important to not just input randomly into a financial model. So as you can see here, for Montreal Gas, we've just sourced the numbers from the source model. We haven't just picked off, so for example, $275,000 in revenue just from some number that was sent to us on an email. Another important aspect of the best practice model for strategic planning purposes is the importance of having thorough error checks with the gross profit number of 1.3 million. As we can see, we're tying back to that number there. One thing's for sure with error checks is that you can never have too many error checks. For example, balance sheet, obviously wanting to, for example, ensure that our total assets of about 9.6 million is tying back to our number in 2011, for example. So you can never have too many error checks in a best practice financial model. And as I say in the article, the strategic plan is a time-consuming, demanding on all model developers. So not only is it important to have a peer review of the financial model, but also to alleviate the potential financial model risk to the company and potential embarrassment to executives is to have a detailed array of error checks in your financial model. So once again, with cash flow analysis, it's also important to have the detail, not just from the direct cash flow, but also from an indirect cash flow statement perspective. So as we can see here, the cash flow statement has an immense wealth of error checks in it. just to provide management with peace of mind, and also ensuring that your financial model for strategic planning purposes has more credibility to it. And this kind of further highlights what I say in the article about the importance of attention to detail. And as I say, this doesn't happen in this example. For example, looking at our revenue, whereby we do have business units from different currency jurisdictions, such as the US or Mexico. In this case, these business units were translated into Canadian dollars, but it doesn't hurt to clarify, especially given the Canadian and the US dollar, for example, at this moment in time is basically at parity, just to reconfirm with the respective business unit contact which currency they're actually sending you financial numbers in. So that just about sums it up, the importance of a best practice financial model. And as you can see with this model here, it's very, very detailed in its approach. And this is where you can obviously add value to the best practice financial model. Because with strategic planning, the value lies within the forecasting, which will eventually lead, as we can see here, to a discounted cash flow forecast to come up with a valuation under different scenarios. In this case, with this company, we've done it under 3 scenarios: base case, mid case, and high case, to value the company and provide management with some sort of idea as to the intrinsic value of the overall company. So there we have it, a model to further demonstrate how you can overcome the challenges of planning for your company's strategic plan. Thank you.